Okay. Government banned export of rice recently.
Sir.
So what are the consequences?
Sir, the first consequence is that there was a decrease in supply in the West, sir, especially in US, where majority of Indian diaspora are there. And secondly, sir, it impacted the trade ties between several countries because of the reduced exports of rice, sir. And there is also a positive impact within India, sir, because the domestic availability of rice will increase.
So about slums, I'll ask one question.
Sir.
Indian cities have the largest percentage of slum dwellers,
Yes.
and Mumbai has got maybe the largest slum area
Yes.
in Mumbai city in entire Asia.
Yes.
So how to make slumless cities?
Sir, the key idea to make slumless cities is firstly the access to low cost affordable housing, sir. That is the main issue because why slums are rising.
Planning.
Yes, sir.
Checking migration.
Yes, sir. As you said, there should be a comprehensive policy to make the conditions of slum dwellers better, sir. And the first step would be to give a comprehensive urban planning, and secondly, provide low-cost affordable housing through affordable housing rental complexes, sir. And also improve also bridge the rural-urban divide to reduce the migration effect, which is the cause of slums.
Have you heard electoral bond scheme?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Sir, it's a scheme introduced by Government of India in 2017 to bring about transparency in the electoral process. So these are nothing but the bearer instrument which provides anonymity in donating the amount to the political parties, sir.
There is a case going on in the Supreme Court of India on electoral bonds.
Yes, sir.
So what is it?
Sir, the case is challenged by Common Cause and ADR Foundation, sir. It is about that the objective of electoral bonds goes against what it's happening. The objective was transparency, but the case mentioned was about lack of transparency, sir. And the case is yet to go on hearings, I think.
So, can you tell me any women's rights activist?
Sir. Sir, I can remember few of them, sir. First women that comes to my mind is Sunitha Krishnan, sir, the rape survivor and women rights activist who provides rehabilitation to several rape survivors and trafficked women, sir. And secondly, I could think of is from I think Bilkis Bano herself is a women's right activist because she's fighting for many of the women, sir.
2023 Nobel Peace Prize
Sir.
Went to a women's rights activist. Do you know her name?
Sir, she is from Iraq, sir. Yeah.
Iran.
Nadia Murad.
Nargis Mohammadi.
Okay, sir.
Nargis Mohammadi.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sumedha, why do you want to become a civil servant?
Sir, after 2017, after my graduation, I faced back-to-back deaths in my family, sir. Both the deaths were due to lack of social infrastructure, that is the healthcare access, that made me move and make me push into a higher domain where I could serve a lot of people. This was my motivation, and becoming an IAS was my natural choice after that, sir.
Okay. You will become an IAS officer. You will be in a good position.
Yes,
And you want to do something, you want to serve the society.
yes,
But the political pressures will be there.
yes, sir.
And bribing, other things are there. So how do you deal with that?
Sir, when the political pressure is there, then I would act with my values such as non-partisanship, sir. I would not be acting on the fear or favor of the political parties. And secondly, I would be acting in the government interest itself. I would be promoting government schemes and improve the indicators, social indicators of the people of the state or my district. So the government would naturally be inclined to support me rather than pressure me, sir. So,
What is your vision of life? What kind of life you want to lead?
sir, I want to lead a life where I can impact a lot of people and also be contented with what I have, sir.
Don't you want to have a Benz kind of car or a bungalow, a villa or something like that?
No, sir. I draw inspiration from S.R. Shankaran, sir, the former IAS officer. I I was inspired by him, and I want to lead a simple life like him, sir.
Okay. Now, I would like you to tell me
Sir.
yourself any doubts, any questions you want to ask of any one of us.
When is the actual date of interview?
Sir, the date is not yet out, sir.
Plenty of time.
Yes, sir.
When are they starting?
February 2nd.
Pardon?
January 2nd they have started, sir.
Started. But your date is.
It's not yet out, sir.
February 14th.
ఫస్ట్ లిస్ట్లో ఒక అబ్బాయి ఉంది సార్
ఏమేమంటే మాకేమంటే we want to know from your side if you have any questions to ask of us. And if you have any doubts, anything which you want to be cleared, we will be helping you to clear them.
Okay, sir. Sir, first of all, I want to ask whether I could, whether my voice is okay.
We'll tell you that.
That we'll tell you, but yeah, we want you to ask your questions first. Questions that you have got, anything related to the interview if you want to ask, you ask us. After that, we will actually tell you what we feel. Yeah.
Sir, while giving answers on political science or IR, then should I take, because your question was straightforward, I could not take a stand, but when there are difficult choices, like whether to support Russia or Ukraine or who, so then how to take a stand over there?
I'll answer, sir. Whenever there is a question which has two diametrically opposite views,
Yes,
contrarian views, then as a well-informed person, you have to say there are two aspects to this.
okay,
There are some who support the Russian stand,
sir.
saying that most of the territories that they occupy are Russian speaking, and the other reason is that you mentioned the NATO border
Yes,
is coming closer and closer to Russia, thereby threatening it.
yes,
There are some who believe that Ukraine has a right to exist. After all, it is no longer the former Soviet Union,
Yes.
it's one of the independent republics. So why should Russia, irrespective of there being a large number of Russian-speaking people,
yes,
invade? They did so first in 2014. They made Crimea a part of Russia.
yes,
It's something like Pakistan suddenly saying Punjab and Haryana are part of Pakistan. Cool, they cannot get away with it, but in this case they got away with it.
yes,
So there are two aspects. If they specifically ask you which one according to you is correct, then it's left to you. But your job is to inform that there are two conflicting, opposing views. Same is the case with the Jews versus Palestinians.
Yes.
It depends on where you draw the line. Is it the 3rd century BC or is it 638 AD when the second Khalifa conquered the Jerusalem and other areas, and since then there is a lot of Arabic people there, migrants, and they are mostly Muslims, though there are some Christians also. Of course, if you draw the line at the 3rd century, it is Jewish. So the original Temple Mount, as it is called. So you can say both. Once again, if you are a Zionist, you will say Jews don't have a country of their own. So if you are not a Zionist and if you believe in the two-state theory, then you mention that. Then what is the third one? Of course, that's all. But your answer regarding Sudan is not technically correct. First of all, it's a civil war. It is between two people who are heading armed wings of the state. One is the regular army, the other is a paramilitary organization. And there also there is a slight ethnicity there. The guy who is heading the paramilitary organization belongs to the western part of Sudan, which is somewhat less Arabic. They have their own language. The guy who is actually captured power and is the chief of the army staff is an Arabic speaking fellow. Sudan is one of the oldest civilizations in the world, as old as the Egyptian. So that is a civil war. So barring that, of course, I didn't put you in any difficult situation as to give you an opinion, but if you are driven to such a situation, you must give both the views.
Well, Sumedha, I think you have the basic material with which to answer. But there are certain things which I would advise you to do. You have actually given international relations, and so you better brush up your knowledge of international relations and policy issues. One of the things you could do is, I don't know whether you have read India 2023 or Manorama Yearbook 2023. Better you actually go through the contents so that you will have a broad idea as to what type of questions can be asked. That's one advice I can give you. The second advice is that you can expect more questions to come to you on international policy. And therefore now there are many things which are actually now becoming very, very active.
Yes.
For example, our Maldives case, for example, Sudan case, wherever there are conflicts, and many of them are coming up. So you need to have at least a background knowledge, because I expect more questions to come on that thing. Second, you may expect more questions on women's empowerment. That is one area where it will come up in a big way. And then they will also say that if in case you are in charge of women's development, what should be your priorities? How would you go about it? This is one question you may be expected to answer. Second, they will ask you, you seem to have done some relief work, Krishna floods and other things. In all such things, what do you think is the primary thing? In any flood situation or something like, what is it that you should first think of?
Evacuation.
Protection of life, protection of cattle, protection of, what are the things that you think of? So you must actually mentally be prepared to answer a question like that. And what is the nature of relief that you have actually provided? Next question that they will most likely ask you is, why is it that you are actually keen to join the civil services? That means, is it for status? Is it for position? Is it that you can make money? Or is it that you can serve the people? What is your inner motivation for you to actually opt for this service? And next question they will say, you have appeared earlier also.
Yes, sir.
So what is your impression? Where do you think you have gone wrong? This question can also be asked.
Okay, sir. Sir, may I have water, sir?
Well,
Go ahead,
take-
you don't
go
need
ahead, go
permission.
ahead.
Be comfortable.
Basically, the question is, we want to know what you know, how much do you know about it? Are you keeping abreast with current events? Are you reading the newspapers? And are you actually looking at, for example, very simple thing, why is all this Hamas issue or Israel issue, all this, it just boils down to one thing, whether Palestine as a state has been recognized by Israel or not.
Yes.
It's very simple. So they would expect you to be fully aware of the basic facts. And the basic facts, one, wherever there are strife situations, be aware of that. Then about your district, about your background, about also your educational this thing, and what is it you like to do very much. They may ask you your hobby. You have not mentioned much about your hobby. They may ask you, what hobby? Do you read books? Are you good at knitting? Are you good at sewing? What is your strength? At that point they will say. Or you are doing social service. If so, what social service have you rendered? No, this can be actually one thing. Now, for example, tribal areas. You have been to tribal areas. How do you think tribal development can take place? Can you just tell us tribal development? Can you tell me?
Sir, tribal development, when I visited over there, the Chedjus, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, sir, there I have seen that there's a problem that they are being integrated into the mainstream society, sir. But though they are integrated, they find it difficult to access the healthcare systems or the education, or to continue the education, sir. And the main barrier they are facing is the problem of culture. So their culture is to stay away from the mainstream, but they are getting or forced to get into the mainstream, sir. So that is why they are lacking on it, and government to need to take steps so that their both culture as well as the development happens side by side, sir. And also, sir, I see that